Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. How's everybody feeling today? Hope everybody had a good Victorian-Times Day yesterday. What's going on here? So, been having some kind of issue with my my extra camera here, and I don't know what the issue is. I typically use this GoPro as like my extra camera, and that usually works, but I don't know. Yesterday it wasn't showing up as an extra camera, and I've tried everything that I can think of. Checked the browser permissions, turned it off, turned it back on, and I don't know. Hasn't been working, so no extra camera. What's up, Terrence? What's up, Gina? What's up, Jeremy Gouvier? JMax77, what's up? And Dave Orkin, what's going on with you? If you didn't see it yesterday, you might want to check out the SDL from yesterday, because definitely one of my favorites. We were without my good buddy Ryan, so that was a bummer. But late night LeBron, myself, and J-Lo Fidelity got together, and we just started talking about like kids and daughters and stuff, because my daughter, Princess Hedgehog, was going to her first Valentine's Day party, like with boys and stuff. So I was like, oh man, it's all freaked out about that. So we talked about that, and then I don't know how it came up. We just started talking about like concerts, and then we just talked about concerts for like the next hour and a half. It was freaking awesome. So that was really cool. To me, that's always the best kind of conversation, when it's like, organic. It just kind of comes up. But yesterday, before we went on, or at least in the morning, I had caught some of the Toy Fair reveals. So Toy Fair is going on right now at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City, the same place where New York Comic Con happens every year. So there were a bunch of reveals. And then I'm sure there was a bunch more that I haven't seen yet. So I was up this morning and was just going to start scrolling through my phone and checking out some Pixel Dan videos and seeing what's out there. And I was like, let me just hop on the live stream, check it out, see if anybody wants to check it out with me, and we can nerd out and talk, or otherwise I'll just be going through whatever I find on the internet. Oh, man. Polar Premium Seltzer, naturally calorie-free, black cherry. All right. Where shall we start? Also, happy birthday, Dylan. It's Wolfie. Dylan Streikart's his birthday today. So happy birthday. I think he's turning the big 2-0. 20 years old today for Dylan. Happy birthday, Wolfie. Let's go to Preternia's page. That's probably a good place to start. All right, where should we start here? Here, I'll just share my screen and we can browse together. What do you think? Yeah, I agree, Terrence. Sesame Street, Super Grover. That's a key one. Here we go. All right, so this is Preternia's page. John, who runs Preternia, he always does a lot of great toy reporting. I'm sure most, if not all of you, know exactly who he is. Here we go. Some of the classified reveals over the last week. We saw these before Toy Fair, but here, this is the Royal Guard right here. And I believe this pre-order goes up on Tuesday. Pretty excited about it. We got Ninja Force Zartan, Cobra La Royal Guard. And I'm sure that we'll find some more pictures of these guys. And then this guy over here, who I don't know don't know who that character is. And we got a Hulk. And then I don't know which Spider-Man this is. Hopefully this isn't just like an hour of me like not knowing things. Bandai booth. SHF Wolverine. Spider-Man, weird looking Spider-Man with a big giant chest. Game Reverse. Oh, these are Game Reverse characters. Okay. Cyclops. Looks like $100 each. Samus, a little Metroid action. Some Godzilla figures. Speaking of Dylan, almost giving me like Glyos vibes here, although I'm sure they're bigger than Glyos. Or maybe they're not. $10. Maybe they are tiny little guys. Godzilla. Some anime stuff. I don't know who these guys are. What is this? Yu-Gi-Oh! Some Gundam. All right, let's pick out some different stuff. I love SH Figure Arts, but there was nothing there that was really popping for me. Let's see what else here. Some Hasbro stuff, some Star Wars. Oh, thank God. Finally getting a Mandalorian. Black Series Mandalorian. Sigourney Weaver. Some Troopers. ATRT. That's a cool little vehicle to be getting in TVC, I assume, right? A new Trooper 4-pack. Imperial Remnants. So they have like the dirtier Stormtrooper armor. Looks like maybe some role-playing helmets, I guess. And then I guess some retro collection. I guess the retro collection is still going on. There you go. Who's this white guy here? Kind of cool looking. I don't recognize him, though. Yeah, right? How many Like, I know Mandalorians made them a lot of money, but it's... For me... yeah. Where's the good stuff? Some Transformers. No offense if I'm just sliding right by stuff that you really like. She's not popping out to me yet. Here's some more G.I. Joe stuff. Who's this guy? And we got a guy here, a Cobra guy with like a whip. He's got a giant talon claw, and he's got a weird 300 Fifth Element Ninja Force thing going on here with his head. And a dinosaur. Oh, yeah, I saw some posts, something about, like, of course, Cobra would, like, enlist, like, dinosaurs or something like that. So I guess Classified has some additional... Classified's been doing some cool stuff, of course, as far as releasing, like, little creatures and animals with some of the figures. You know, we got the crocodile with Crocmaster. We got, I think, a couple of different Timbers. There's a 2-pack with, like, Snake Eyes and, like, a polar bear. They got the Scorpion guy with Desert Scorpion. I guess they're doing a dinosaur here as well. A Cobra dinosaur. That's weird. I don't think that's something that's that sort of... I know they had like a Dino Hunter thing back in the 90s, but this is the dinosaur. Are these pants? Or is he like, what is he, like part robot? Yeah. Like, they tattooed a dinosaur. So I guess he's got Looks like he moves around pretty good. Got articulation at his little dino wrist, his little dino elbow, shoulder. There's his little cobra tattoo. I mean, that's cool. And here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for. More Cobra La stuff. And I'm not even being sarcastic there. I love Cobra La. I love G.I. Joe, the movie. And it looks like there is a 2-pack here. We've got Taurus here and Red Dog. These are part of the Sergeant Slaughter's crew from Cobra La, the movie. Red Dog. I think, was he a former football player or something like that? Taurus, I think, was like in the circus or something like that. I don't think I knew their whole names from the movie. There's the Rhea Ripley figure in the back. And here's what is this? A Dreadnought here? Zawa, what's her name? She has a cool little chameleon. I don't know what you call this thing. The water scooter. Somebody doesn't like the colors. I think those colors are kind of dope, to be honest with you. There's the Cobra Dinosaur and the Cobra Dinosaur, I guess, trainer or whatever. Oh, looks like a new Trouble Bubble in red. Just missed Valentine's Day. Okay, and then this is the Action Soldier. Action Soldier. I don't know what that means. Special Forces. I guess he comes with multiple heads, including like this. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, I freaking love Cobra La. You know, I've said a few times that I've never really been like a completist kind of about any particular line. Even like teams, I don't really go nuts over completing, unless it's something like like Ghostbusters, right? Like you kind of need 4 Ghostbusters usually. But one thing I've been thinking about recently is, what if I just collect everything I can find Cobra La? Because there's not that much stuff. There's a lot more now than there used to be, you know, since we've gotten like the classified stuff. Although if I'm going to do that, I made one huge mistake already. I had pre-ordered. Actually, I don't know if you want to count both of them. I did order the Nemesis Immortal, the Nemesis Enforcer from the classified line. And it was one of those things where ordered him, got him, thought he looked cool, definitely stylized, different than what's in the movie. And he was kind of like in the box for 6 months, just kind of like hanging around. So, you know, one day when I was going to set up at a toy show, he went in the crate too, and I ended up selling him. So if I'm going to do that, collect everything that comes out that I can find Cobra La, I'm going to have to get the Nemesis Immortal again. Yeah, I've checked him on. That's happened a couple of times recently when there was just some random figure that I bought. And I guess he's not even that random because I actually love Cobra La. But where I ordered the figure, had it for a while, never opened it, and just decided to sell it. And then later on, the price kind of like went up there. So I don't know. Hopefully they come out with another Nemesis Immortal. I'm sure they will. They'll do like toy colors or something like that, and I'll grab that one. And if I really need the first one at some point, you know, I'll figure out a way to get them. So how was everyone else's Valentine's Day? Anybody do anything? Mrs. Hedgehog and I just went out to dinner pretty locally. And the food was very good, but, you know, it's Valentine's Day, so it was pretty busy in the restaurant. So, all right, back to these guys. So what is that, like a Day of the Dead head? All right. Got another Hulk, an artillery Hulk. I don't know this Hulk. What do they call him? Oh, Professor Hulk? I like those slippers. Look at those bunny slippers. That's pretty great. I don't know that I'd be willing to spend whatever it's going to cost for this Professor Hulk to get those bunny slippers, but that'd be a nice thing to grab. NECA Pee Wee Herman. For all the Pee Wee fans out there. This is all sculpted, right? Bunch of heads, all the little characters from the show. I don't remember any of the names. I do remember Pee Wee's Playhouse, of course. I remember it like kind of like coming at the end of like the cartoons. Like if cartoons started at like 6 a.m., like this was the thing that was on at like 10 or 11 a.m. or something like that. Like the last kid show on of the block. So kind of always felt a little bit sad. And there was just something about that show that gave me a headache a lot. But there you go. Pee Wee Herman. For anybody that wants a Pee Wee Herman figure. Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't understand this. Never understood this. This is kind of cool, though. Denver the Dinosaur. Who's doing this now? It's a Kickstarter, right? Bull Air, Sneak Attack, Toys, Denver the Last Dinosaur, and Chuck E. Cheese action figures. Kickstarter to launch soon. So whoever Bull Air's Sneak Attack Toys is apparently doing a Kickstarter. And you've got Denver the Last Dinosaur here. Sort of like a little rocker dinosaur from the 80s. Niche cartoon dinosaur. And I guess is this like the... What was the other one called? Not Chuck E. Cheese, but Showtime? Was it Showtime? There's Chuck E. Cheese. Isn't this the... Maybe not. Maybe that's not like the one of the characters from Showtime. There's Chuck E. Cheese. Like, do people really want a Chuck E. Cheese action figure? Do people have fond memories of Chuck E. Cheese? I don't mean to denigrate Chuck E. Cheese, but I've been there a few times. Never went there as a kid, only as a parent. Oh, the icy guy. I would take an icy bear. If somebody wants to make an icy bear action figure, I'm at least listening. And these look like kind of like, what are these, like Mad Balls type things? Some Thing slippers. When you're done with clobbering time, you need to relax. There you go. All right. Ho-hum so far. And then we've got Boss Fight, Hellboy, and Conan. Oh, finally! Thank goodness somebody's finally making a Conan figure. Man, it's about time. Another Conan figure? I guess, listen, if you're a Conan fan, it is a golden age for you because you can't, go on the internet for 5 seconds before you see another Conan figure. Yeah, for the Nemesis Enforcer, that's what I'm thinking, Kevin, is Toy Colors Nemesis Enforcer. I'm all over it. Because actually, I got some more Cobra Law stuff. Although some of the Super 7 is freaking killing it with Reaction Plus, by the way. Here, let me, if I'm going to do this. Solo myself real quick. So I think Super 7's been killing it with Reaction Plus. This one's actually not branded movie branded, but this is the Arctic Cobra Commander. That's the garb he has on when they're in the in the Himalayas, and Cobra Commander has the Cobra forces retreat into the Cobra Law area. Cobra retreat, and he's stupidly thinks he's going to be welcomed with open arms. And then we have Jinx from the movie. Grabbed Jinx. Open these today. And this is the one I was the most excited for. Big Lob. Big Lob, who Big Lob did not get an action figure in the original G.I. Joe line. There was a Jinx, but not like specifically a movie style Jinx. There was obviously a Cobra Commanders, but there wasn't like Arctic Cobra Commander. But there was no Big Lob in the Ara series. I think maybe they made one in one of the later versions, like I don't know, 25th anniversary or whatever they're called, but not in the original line. So in this O-ring style originally, we never got a Big Lob. We did now. Still think a basketball would have been cool. Or if not a basketball, at least a hand grenade. And he's got a hand grenade in the picture, but it doesn't look like he comes with one. So we're going to have to make up a grenade. Maybe I'll make one out of aluminum foil, roll up some aluminum foil or something like that. That'll be his little grenade. Open those guys today, but there you go. These guys are going to fall down. All right, that's it for this week's Cobra La Corner. Anybody else interested in this boss fight, Conan? Just seems like an interesting choice with all of the Conans out there, and there's a lot. There is a lot. Okay, here's some of the stuff that I thought was really cool. Now, controversial, Premium DNA is still making toys. Again, premium DNA. I don't have any specific knowledge, but there's a connection there, I believe, from Premium DNA to Megalopolis, which purportedly burned a lot of people out of some money, and people don't have good feelings about. But Premium DNA somehow is a company out there still making toys. I don't really know what the connection is between the two, or what the deal is there. So I'm not saying anything positive or negative either way. Just checking out what we're seeing here. We've got Revenge of Shinobi figures. And it kind of looks like Cloth Goods ninja costume. That's pretty cool. Contra action figures. That's pretty cool. And then this guy, who I don't remember who this guy is. Well, what do you think about that? Shinobi and Contra is pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think a lot of people will see Premium DNA and just pass based on that. Oh, did you? Yeah, I think there was a party at G's house for Valentine's Day yesterday that some of the homies went to. Looked like everybody had a good time, which is pretty cool. Right. All right, Nacelle has a bunch of Star Trek stuff coming out. So for all of the Star Trek heads out there, you are eating good right now. A lot of TNG stuff. Next Generation. Looks like the price point is about $29. I believe these are 6-inch scale. And then this guy's from Star Trek, the animated series. I don't know if you say that BEM or BEM, but there you go. Old school Spock with some cool accessories here. Various like chess pieces and whatnot. And then they've got like these bridge Dio sets they're coming out with. So pretty cool. So they're doing old school Star Trek movie figures. They're doing the Next Generation figures. They're doing animated series figures. Their bridge, one of, or their bridge set is on the cover of Toy Collector magazine. So that's pretty cool. There's movie Kirk. Some Janeway and Nog. I'm not the most knowledgeable Star Trek person, so just throwing that out there too. But they look cool, and some of the sets look awesome. So for $28 to get this figure, some accessories, including like a massive accessory like this computer thing, whatever this thing is, that's really cool. Kirk as Romulan, bunch of hands and stuff. We can still tell you're Kirk. Apparently, this was a Star Trek crew. Like, what? All right, so it says Star Trek Cruise exclusive figure. So I don't know if there was a figure made of Kirk in disguise that was part of that was only sold on a Star Trek cruise, and that's what this is an homage to. But that's pretty awesome, if so. A very cool little niche thing. Actually, you know what? Might be cool. Pixel Dan has a lot of great videos from Toy Fair. Let's go videos. Let's check out some of Pixel Dan's stuff. What do you think? Let's go with the Star Trek. All right. Woo! Hold up. Pull that down. Good morning. Yeah, just hanging out, checking out some Toy Fair stuff. Let's see here.
2026, and I'm here with Brian Volkweiss at Nacelle. Again, Brian, how's it going, my man?
It's going good.
Yeah, good
Thanks
to see you
coming
again.
back.
Of course, always happy to.
So Brian Volkweiss from Nacelle. I've seen him talking about the Nacelle stuff a bunch of times. I actually kind of love listening to him. He's so enthusiastic about all the different properties, and it just feels like he's such like a positive guy. And he's like talking about stuff that he's way into. I watched some of this video earlier, and he was talking about the Star Trek offerings here, and like just the way he's talking about it, he's so into it and he's so happy about it. And he's talking about some of the things like why they included like this accessory or that accessory. And it's like he remembers it from when he was young and he really like either wanted that or something like that. So that's why they're including it. So I freaking love stuff like that. So yeah, if you're a Star Trek head, I would be pretty excited about these Nacelle figures here. Again, TNG was a show that I didn't really watch in the 80s, and I kind of feel like I missed out a little bit because I feel like that's the kind of show that I probably would have gotten into. And at this point, like it's so like to go back and start it now, I don't know if I'll ever do that. But like I said, they're doing characters from the animated show. He talked a little bit about these bridge sets. I think they're going to be modular, I think. I don't know if I have that correct or not, where you can like buy pieces of them and then like put them together maybe.
So first of all, we're doing 3 of these little twisty things.
Okay.
That we had designed. So they're you literally, once it's all put together, you'll be able to drop it and it won't come apart.
Oh.
Now, it might break.
Oh, well, yeah. So don't drop it. We're not condoning dropping it.
But it won't fall apart.
Okay, that's good.
These are some Spock.
Okay, yeah. So it looks like the different pieces can snap together to make it like a bigger bridge type area.
Comes with the phaser rifle. It comes with the harp and many, many, many other things.
Like an evil Spock. Some other the Star Trek characters. And then after they talked about Star Trek, they did kind of move on to some other stuff. Wait, let's go back a little bit. This is where we were.
In the packaging.
Yeah.
So that's them in the packaging.
And you're making them. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So we'll go on containers that are seen in the movie, and I've liked since I was 8 years old, and now we're making them.
And you're making them. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So we'll go on here. Most of this you have seen before. The only thing you haven't seen, well, you probably haven't seen the packaging.
Yeah.
So that's them in the packaging.
Cool packaging.
And this is our first packaging exclusive. Why am I stressing the word packaging? Because I want to be able to do exclusives because it's good for our business,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do exclusives where people feel like they can't get easy access to them.
Gotcha.
So what we came up with, and our partners at Star Trek Cruise were very helpful, and they agreed to this. So this package is completely exclusive to the cruise.
What?
So if you don't go on the cruise, you can't get this package.
Okay.
But 2 months after the cruise gets back, which is at the end of this month,
Yeah.
you will be able to buy this exact same figure in the regular
in the
packaging.
normal red package.
So that way,
Okay. Now I need the cruise exclusive figure like the air that I breathe. Who's with me? Cruise exclusive figure.
That is
same
nice.
price.
No, that's
Did
really
we
good.
invent that? Did we invent
That's
that?
not a very common thing.
Okay,
That's
all right,
for sure.
all right. So we may have invented something.
No, that's good. That's good.
But yeah, and then everything else here that you see
Also, there's a Star Trek cruise. I wonder what that's like.
has pretty much been shown
Yes,
before.
the figures themselves.
Yeah,
like you
just the
said, just the packaging. Yeah. Okay.
So
Very
that,
cool.
and these all start shipping again next week. So I assume you know, but maybe you don't. But we had to stop shipping due to some QC issues.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the.
So
I know you.
Yeah, so I don't know too much. Running theme here. I don't know too much about this, but I did hear something that Nacelle was like had done some production runs, I think, of the Star Trek figures, and I think maybe they started shipping out, but then they had some QC issues, so they straight up put a halt on it, and they're like redoing it, I think.
You've been posting a lot of updates
Yep.
on the QC
Yep.
stuff. So
So we will be resuming shipping this week. We're not officially announcing that till Thursday.
okay.
So you did just get a little.
There we
scoop.
go. Exclusive. Love it.
There you go.
All right.
Wave 1 of Biker Mice. I
Yeah.
think we've covered this to death.
Too bad Curtis is not here to make the joke about biker mice from Mars going on clearance. The funny thing is, when Brian is talking to Pixel Dan here about biker mice from Mars, he's basically saying that it's like kind of successful. And like they're making additional characters, they're making, they're continuing the line, which is pretty cool because I wasn't sure what he was going to say. I'm personally I don't have any connection to biker mice from Mars. I haven't bought any. I don't even think that I've seen any in my Walmart because I think they're Walmart exclusives. But I know a lot of people have talked about seeing the biker mice from Mars like on clearance at Walmarts and things like that. So I don't, how businesses consider things financially viable or not. Once Walmart has it, I assume at that point, Nacelle has made the sales. But I would think that if, Walmart buys some product from a toy manufacturer and it doesn't sell to the point where they have to put it on clearance, I'm not sure if they'll keep ordering it. But at least from what Brian Volkweis was saying to Pixel Dan, it sounds like biker mice from Mars will continue. Another cool thing that he was talking about. So I don't know how many of you collect like wrestling action figures, but there's a, I don't know if you call them like a independent toy maker, customizer, whatever you want to call them. Zombie Sailor does like wrestling action figures. And apparently they're partnering with Zombie Sailor to make like that form factor. He kind of mostly does, I think, sort of in that old Hasbro late 80s, early 90s style, like the little like they're like little like 4-inch guys type of thing here.
And what ended up, Zombie
Sailor, yeah.
And they were doing something that there were two things about, and we get asked every day pretty much if we'll carry other people's brands, and we say no 99% of the time for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is, we want unique stuff, right? And we want stuff very different from what we're doing,
right?
So we ain't doing nothing like this,
right?
And if I gotta say, I don't think anybody is. So it's like we did this deal with Zombie Sailor, and
They're awesome.
I cannot say
Ric Flair.
these are selling so well. I
good.
cannot.
Good.
This guy in particular.
I know. I love that he branched out of the wrestling stuff in this, like,
yes,
because this is like the vintage Hasbro
exactly
wrestling figure style, but doing these other pop culture icons is really smart move. I think these are fun.
So it's like we'll do a blast for like a new biker mice wave or a new.
Pretty cool. Then some more biker mice stuff. Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Oh, actually, you know, was it biker mice? It might have been Cowboys of Moo Mesa. He was talking about being financially successful. I might have mixed that up with Biker Mice from Mars. I'm not into like Biker Mice from Mars or Cowboys of Moo Mesa, but for what they're supposed to be, they seem to be good representations of those animated characters. So that's cool. Yeah, I think it was actually Cowboys of Moo Mesa that he kind of went into detail about. He did mention Biker Mice from Mars, though. If anybody in there is super pumped about that. The RoboForce figures. Again, those RoboForce figures looked interesting. But they were so different than the weird little cylinder suction cup guys that RoboForce was back in the 80s. That I'm not sure how many people were like way into it. You got some comedians.
So those are
The Expanse. I've never watched The Expanse. I don't really know anything about it.
These are all productions. So yeah, this is the Kickstarter exclusive box set. This is also the first time this has been shown. This was the wrap gift for season 4 of The Expanse. So Alcon allowed us to make replicas. They're everything is standard.
It's pretty cool. If you're into that show, that might be a cool thing to have. Sorry, I'm getting messages about possible other. All right, I'm seeing pictures of some of the Mondo 112 stuff. Mondo 1/6. But I haven't heard anything new about the Flocked Panther. That's kind of what I'm... One of the things I'm most waiting to hear. Okay. I was checking to make sure there wasn't some other breaking news I needed to know about. All right. Sectars. I'm trying to get here. Here's Sectars if anybody wants to check this out. Looks pretty cool. The Sectars have been out for a little while. Like you can get these at toy stores and stuff. They're in the same scale as the 80s line, and they're doing like the puppets. Like if you remember the Sectars from the 80s, you had like these, 5-6 inch figures, and they had insect creatures that they would ride on, but it was like a puppet, so you could actually like maneuver it around. So I always thought that was pretty cool. Zika Toys did a little 3.75 line a few years ago, like during the pandemic. That was freaking a really cool little line, but it only got so far.
People who are Sectars fans, when we announce.
Here we go. I'm trying to get to... Power Lords, which I think is what he talks about next.
But I did find that very funny.
Yeah,
and I also never thought of that. But anyway, these are some of the exclusives we've done for Biker Mice, and we have more exclusives coming. And now we are ending at Biker Mice from Mars and Power Lords. Power Lords, this was all shown at San Diego.
Yeah, I'm still in awe by the size of Arcus.
Yeah, we just got some test shots. Pretty nice.
I'm so excited about Power Lords. I want these to happen so bad.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And he'll weigh more than, what's his name? I want to call him Red. What the hell's his name?
What, Terrible?
Terrible.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he'll weigh even more.
Nice.
But we got Electromag here. Electromag, excuse me.
All right. That was all the stuff I wanted to see from Nacelle. So we'll stop that. Yeah, I don't know that we need figures of... I don't know that you need figures of everything. See, and that worked. Maybe I am getting the hang of this, guys. What can we do next? Ah, here we go. We got to check this out. Does Pixel Dan have a video about these guys? What does he have here? He has Star Trek. Probably NECA, right? NECA's probably what we want. Let's look at some NECA stuff, because I think NECA is the one that had the stuff that kind of took me the most by surprise. There's Pee Wee Herman again. They got some more Beetlejuice stuff. More the Trick or Treat characters. I don't know how many of these I think we've seen all these before. I don't think any of these are new, right? Oh, they have pillowcases, though. That's pretty cool. That's a cool idea.
Are replicas of the original Ben Cooper costumes. We also have the Martian from Mars Attacks, which is just another kind of fan favorite IP. And then Captain Action and Dr. Evil. Captain Action is a recreation from the original, but Dr. Evil, there was never a costume, so we took a little liberty. Yeah.
That's very cool.
It's like Mega Man.
These look great.
Thank you. We also have some quasi-new Harry Potter coming out. We've got the Legacy series Harry Potter. These are similar to the ones we released way back when the...
Anyone interested in Harry Potter figures? All right, so these I thought were interesting. So let's listen to this.
This weekend was the retro 8-inch Batman and Batman Returns Penguin and Catwoman. These are similar.
So NECA 8-inch Batman Returns figures. And the way he talks about this, he talks about these figures that they're sort of like, I guess they made quarter scale versions of these Batman Returns figures. And now they're sized down to 8 inches. Still like kind of like bigger than I would like, but I think they look pretty cool, and they have different like, you know, mixed materials and stuff. I think the Batman looks pretty good. Penguin looks pretty good. Catwoman looks pretty good, although it's kind of funny. There's some pretty good, I think, Hot Toys versions that came out recently, so it's probably best not to like mentally compare them.
To our quarter scale in look, but of course everything you know from our 8-inch retros, shared buck system underneath, clothed, real soft good clothing on top. These have multiple accessories, multiple expressions with Catwoman. Penguin's kind of my personal favorite because he's got a removable hat, a removable monocle, a removable cigarette. You can choose whether you want his flipper hands gloved or ungloved. He comes with that fish that Max kind of tries to entice him with to become mayor. So super fun. The deco looks great. The soft goods look great. I think they speak for themselves.
Yeah, I don't love that face on Catwoman.
Yeah, I love that alt head.
That one's
too.
Yes.
That's so
that
good.
Really
Yeah. That's my favorite alt head in the quarter scale as well. So I just love that we get it in more of a action figure, kind of can display them with the rest of your Batman figures. Another huge reveal, literally huge. We've got tons of Predator. So Predator 2 City Hunter poster series. This goes along with all of our other poster series. Like
NECA's been killing the Predator stuff for a while. What's this Jaws over here? That's what I want to know about. I don't think they talk about Jaws. But a bunch of Predator stuff. I have multiple NECA Predator figures. super really cool figures for the price point and being able to like buy them in store. Very cool. Predator. Some of the Predator characters from like the newer like movies. All very cool. Some more of the horror stuff. Art the Clown, which I'm not really into. But they did have some cool didn't they have some cool Jason stuff, I think. And then I don't think they don't mention the Jaws.
Malthus Demon, he's been up for pre-order. See him in all his creepy gore glory. He also has.
So 2 things here. Number 1, I wish they would talk about the Jaws. Jaws is awesome. So they got this creature Malthus from the Conjuring movies, and one thing he said was that I guess you never see this creature in the movie, like you never see his lower half, or you never like see his legs or feet or whatever. So they had to like create their own. They had to like create their own feet for the character, and then they got the okay on the design. So that's pretty cool. And then the thing over here, NECA did like I think it was like maybe it was SDCC or something like that, some type of con exclusive character here. I think this is the Kurt Russell character, but they had like this effect with these, beams of light or shards of light or whatever shooting out from his face, which is reminiscent of like the old movie poster, the Thing movie poster, but it was like an exclusive. But now they're putting it out as a regular release. I'm not even the biggest Thing fan, but I just thought this idea for a figure was such a cool idea that, I don't know, I kind of wanted to get it just because I thought it was really cool. Yeah, so real quick. This is the movie poster I'm talking about, where it looks like the light's like shooting out from like his face here. So then they made a figure with actual like plastic shards, beams of light coming out of his head. And I just thought that was cool. I thought it was a very cool idea. And now, if you want it, it's going to have a regular release.
Alternate feet. I don't think you ever actually see his feet in the.
There you go.
Then more of these like creepy, grayscale black and white versions that will be coming early this spring.
There's Art the Clown. Another ghost face from Scream. And then some Fortnite horror characters. Here's the various Jasons. Appropriate, since Friday the 13th was just on Friday. I would like to get a video game Jason. I think that would be cool. I never got one.
Up. He's got that kind of like Hellfire.
I do have the video game Batman, the one that's purple. Which is pretty cool.
Needed for those eyes, they just glow by holding a light behind.
They look great under your lights,
right?
Too.
Right.
Yeah, look at the way they glow.
So it is working phenomenally. And if you don't want the light piping, or you don't want that kind of open square in the back of the head, we do have alternate heads for you to be able to pose in 360. Then you've got Part 8 Jason. And
that's cool. So I guess his this head has, I guess, an opening in the back so that you can take advantage of the light piping effect up here. I think that's what he's saying. But they also include extra heads so that you can pose him looking like this, but have him like from the other side.
Part 9 Jason from Friday the 13th, the game. The game skins were based off his looks in the 8th and 9th movie. However, these will have accessories and looks just a little more specific to the game.
It's a solid
movie.
Jason
However,
mask
these
right there.
will have accessories and looks
The
just a little
classic
more
Jason
specific
mask.
to the game.
Okay.
And of course, all of these, which are now up for pre-order.
Love video game Jason.
Yes, and does make the theme music still.
Awesome.
So absolutely.
Oh,
And then the Toonie actually never came out, I don't think. So first time you're getting a Friday the 13th, the game retro look.
So that's cool. So the video game Jason was something they've done before in the Ultimates form factor. I missed it whenever that was. I think it was a long time ago. So I guess this is the same one getting another run. And I guess the box plays music. I love stuff like that. Like they did a SDCC exclusive Predator that had like light effects in the box when you open the box up. That was really cool. Although the batteries obviously run out.
In Toonie form. And then the Pamela Shrine.
There we go. Iron Maiden for all the
our fourth
metal fans
ultimate.
out
We
there.
did do a Bon Jovi Ultimate, but we have that Iron Maiden 2-pack in the back that's available.
What else did I? Oh, I know what we haven't even got to the stuff I really wanted to talk about yet. Is that here? Yeah, here we go. This is it right here, baby.
Toy Fair reveal is our partnership with McDonald's, and this
McDonald's!
goes across many of our ad populum brands. With NECA, as you saw, the head knockers, we're going to be doing Ultimate action figures.
God, Ultimate's Grimace.
Yes,
Ultimate's Grimace. Let's fucking go.
The concepts for Ronald and
Freaking
Hamburger
go,
back
excuse me.
there. Of course, we've not started sculpting them just yet. And
Oh
of
my
course,
God, I didn't even
there's
notice.
gonna be
They're doing Trick or Treat Ben Cooper McDonald's characters, and they come with the boo buckets. So real boo buckets. So like where who was it? Hasbro did like a werewolf Chewbacca, like Halloween style Chewbacca. Did you see this? I have it, and he comes with like something that looks like a little trick or treat basket or like a boo bucket, but it's essentially a repurposed like the ice cream machine that they were carrying around from like the movie in Empire Strikes Back. It's that painted to look like a boo bucket. But it didn't have a handle or anything. These are actual boo buckets. And then I'm pretty sure somebody I know there's some third party customizers had made some really good boo buckets. I saw them on Robo Don't Know, like on a play day or something like that. But how cool is this? Number one, NEC is making McDonald's characters, which is freaking awesome. You're getting like an Ultimate's Grimace. And they're also doing Ben Cooper McDonald's characters. So the little kids in the little Ben Cooper costumes with the boo buckets. They look great.
Be plenty of accessories and alternate expressions, as well as Ben Cooper figures.
The pails, Halloween buckets.
We had to do the boo buckets. Come on,
man.
So you got Birdie and Hamburglar there, and that's kind of where we're starting. The core four: Birdie, Grimace, Ronald, Hamburglar, and then as the line progresses, we'd love to obviously.
Let me get a McDonald's playset. Let's go. Or Barbie had McDonald's playsets back in the day. I wonder how these would look. I know Barbie's obviously a lot bigger. But man, I think that would be pretty fun to have like a little McDonald's display with like a piece of like a McDonald's restaurant with some of these characters in it.
Obviously dive deeper and get more into McDonald land.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
This is not something this is one I would not have had on my bingo card.
This is our
Ultimate
left field.
Grimace?
We have to do a left field reveal
That's
at Toy
insane.
Fair.
That is insane.
And then there'll be other collectibles from Kid Robot, such as the funnies that you see here, which is their plush.
That's another thing too. So the announcement had specifically referenced McDonald's characters, and then indicated, that it was with Kid Robot. Wasn't Kid Robot? Isn't that Seth Green's company? And isn't that the production company behind like Robot Chicken? First of all, is that right? Okay, I guess I don't know for sure if Kid Robot is affiliated with Seth Green, but I thought there was a connection between Kid Robot and Robot Chicken, which did involve Seth Green. Robot Chicken. Something like that. Wait, so there was robot chicken figures already? I didn't know that. That's hilarious. That's kind of where I was going with this. I think that's really funny. All right. Still working on it.
Will most likely have vinyl, maybe blind box, and then Inesco does the Department 56, like the Halloween and Christmas villages. They're also going to be doing some stylized villages based on McDonald's land as well.
That's insane.
I'm loving it.
Amazing. Well done. Well done.
All right, so that's cool. Yeah, check out Pixel Dan's videos if you're into the toy fair stuff. Thank you. Because we can check out more of Preternia's photos, see if there's anything cool there. These look like just some more of Super 7's deluxe releases, which are basically like their Ultimates Thundercats figures, but with like less stuff and a cheaper price point. Excuse me. A deluxe release of Ghost Jaga is pretty funny because this was a pretty sought after figure for a while. After the initial release, he was going for like $100-$300 sometimes on the aftermarket. Then they did a second run of the Ultimates figures. Now they're doing a deluxe version. So this is kind of cool. So if like you're building out your Thundercats collection, like I have a Thundercats collection, but I don't, you know, I haven't been going after all of the new figures. Over the last year or two, I've really just gotten some of like the one-off translucent figures. But it would be cool to sort of build some of it out via the deluxe route, so you don't have to pay those higher prices. And if you don't really care about having all of the other accessories, I will say for like Mumra in particular, I would, if I was a Thundercats collector, which I am, I want the full version of Mumra because the full version has a ton of cool stuff. This looks like a different cape too. I think the cape might be better. I don't know if I'm making that up, but it definitely looks shorter. But like, if you just wanted a Ghost Jaga, like, you know, that's all you really need right there is this guy. And then some more of the Godzilla stuff. I would need somebody to help me kind of talk me through this stuff. There's a Mothra, pretty cool looking Mothra. But I think that's all for that post. Some reaction and reaction plus. What do we got here? Who are these guys? This is just regular reaction, so 5 POA. Beastie Boys. Oh, this is from Intergalactic, right? Oh, yeah, it says it right on the package. And then what kind of... what kind of shredder is this? Is this an O-ring shredder? No, right? It doesn't say reaction on the package, does it? Oh, it is reaction. Okay, so these are O-ring. Oh, okay. This is cool. So we got an O-ring style 375, like G.I. Joe basic setup for Shredder, excuse me, and Foot Soldiers. That's pretty cool. And the Turtles, I think that's pretty cool. Don't know that I would need to grab these. The Joy Toys are already making incredible 375 Turtles figures, but I think these look really cool, really fun. And now your Turtles can like battle your G.I. Joes. There's Donatello, Purple Staff, I don't know that his staff needs to be purple, but George Clinton. So I wonder if they're going to be moving. Well, maybe not. I was going to say, I wonder if they're going to start moving all of the reaction stuff to Reaction Plus, but it looks like they're still doing like 5 POA for a lot of the pop culture figures, characters, which sort of makes sense. A lot of people that are going to be buying a George Clinton, like, you don't have to be a toy collector to buy this George Clinton figure. You just have to be a Parliament fan or a George Clinton fan. And in that case, you probably don't care as much about the more articulation, but I like his shiny red boots here. That's pretty sweet. J Dilla Donuts, De La Soul. Anybody getting any of these musical characters? I thought about it, but I've never gone too far in. I bought a Slash that I saw in a toy store one time that I think was made by AXA or Axie, maybe one of those companies. And then some of Super 7 Sesame Street reaction figures are really fun. The typewriter guy. The Count in PJs. Ernie in PJs. Bert in PJs. Grover with the G. Big Bird and Blue Big Bird. I don't remember Blue Big Bird. Big Birds from Around the World reaction blind box. So, am I to understand then that like Sesame Street in other parts of the world had different colored Big Birds? I was not aware of that. If I have that right, that's kind of cool. And it's cool to do like a blind box for it. Some Elmos, same thing. And then they're doing some Micronauts here, which we've known about these for a long time too, but they look really cool. Translucent Micronauts. So again, O-ring style Reaction Plus. So actually a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker than the OG Micronauts, which were like very skinny, little, highly articulated figures though. Really cool figures. Okay. That's all that stuff. Any of this stuff jumping out at anybody? So far, nothing we're looking at like knocks me out specifically, but I think it's fun to look at. The O-ring turtles are probably the funnest thing that I haven't seen before. Here's the Mondo stuff. There's the 1/12 Skeletor. I did pre-order the deluxe 1/12 Skeletor. That cape looks bonkers. I love this cape. The deluxe version has a different Havoc staff, or an additional Havoc staff, a display base, all kinds of cool stuff. I didn't get the He-Man. I like the fact that he actually has fur, including boots with the fur. But I'm a weird guy when it comes to Motu is one of my all-time favorite toy lines, but I can kind of get like a Skeletor and a couple other characters. Don't need to get. I rarely get the He-Mans. Like, to me, visually, He-Man is probably the least interesting Motu character. And I think I have what will always probably be my favorite He-Man. I have I think it was Super 7's cartoon version of He-Man, which is my favorite version. So I didn't get this one. Here's 1/6 Skeletor. I do have 1/6 Skeletor over there, the deluxe version. And there's the Panther, but I don't see the flocked version there. So I wonder if they said anything about it. Oh, look at that badass Jaws. I think this is the Mondo Jaws, right? That Jeremy was showing on his show the other day. Or was it on his show? Or it was on New to Mythics, I think, last week. That's pretty sweet. I think it's this one. And then there's Mondo 1/6 animated Spider-Man from Spider-Man the Animated Series. Clayface, Venom. I don't see anything new that I'm super aware of. No flocked Panther. I was hoping to get some more news about flocked Panther. I guess not. Not today, Gerd. NECA still doing their Toon Turtles. Man, talk about a deep line. Some Blockies doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Mega Man. Blockies doing Evangelion. I've already got the best Evangelion figure. It's Micro Galaxy stuff. Avatar. So Jazzware's Fortnite. So one cool thing that sort of happened over the last 6 months or so, the last year or so, is that Jazzwares was putting out some of their 6-inch Fortnite figures again. So some of like their popular ones from back in the day, they're calling it the Legendary series, which was really cool because it was pretty big news a few years ago when it looked like Jazzwares lost the Fortnite license, or at least I think they lost it for 6-inch. I don't know. I think maybe they lost it for 6-inch, but might have still had the 1/18th scale Fortnite figures. Again, I don't know that for sure because in my local Walmart, they stopped carrying. We haven't had Fortnite figures in forever. But yeah, now that we've got Jazzwares essentially reissuing some of their Legendary series figures, I think that would be great if that line got going again. That was such a fun little line, like a cool characters. Like even if you don't play Fortnite, like I don't, but to just stroll down the toy aisle and see some of these characters. Like I bought the hot dog guy. I never bought the rabbit guy, and I do want the rabbit guy for the Easter display. And there we go, running theme today with the bunny slippers. Peely, I feel like gotta have a Peely, right? Beef Boss. I had a 375 Beef Boss. Well, I'm sure I still have a 375 Beef Boss somewhere. That's a cool little figure. And like just characters like this purple mushroom head guy. So I guess that's going to continue on. Pretty cool. And I don't know if most of these I've seen before, so I know they're characters they've made before, but some of them might be new. Like this box doesn't specifically say Legendaries. This is Victory series, so maybe they're making new ones. Let's see. Did Pixel Dan do a Fortnite video? I would like to see that. Here we go. Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Loyal Subjects, Power Rangers, Nacelle. I don't see Fortnite though. Nacelle, NECA, Power Rangers, Godzilla, Loyal Subjects, Playmates. Marvel Legends. No, I don't see a Jazzwares. All right. That's cool though, especially having a presence at Toy Fair. I think is a big deal. Jazzwares Five Nights at Freddy's, Pokemon stuff. There's that NECA stuff again. Fortnite and TMNT. Okay. Sure, why not? There's Super Grover. I don't know if Terrence is still around, but there's Super Grover. Does he come with a flight stand? That would be dope if he came with a flight stand. Big Bird. Everybody's pumped about the Big Bird, but we've seen him before. And Oscar, of course. Very cool, but still don't hold a candle to the Sesame Street Customs that one Nate Armstrong did last year. Oh, here's some of the Muppets. Miss Piggy. There's some of the band. I don't know all their names. And then Gonzo with the chicken that he had a very bizarre romantic relationship with. I don't know her name either. This is Ultimate Miss Piggy, so it's a prototype. Doesn't look like there's like any articulation in this piece right here, but if they're NECA Ultimates, there will be. Here we go. This was one of the bigger things. I don't remember if this had been announced before or not, but NECA, right? Yeah. NECA DuckTales, animated DuckTales, awesome. NECA probably doing the animated style, pretty perfect company to do this kind of thing. There's Launchpad, Scrooge. Oh, how bad do I need a Scrooge? And presumably, if they're going to do them, DuckTales, I wonder if they can also do like Mickey's A Christmas Carol versions of the characters. The kids are not in it, but like Scrooge. I mean, I think I need the Scrooge no matter what. I wonder if are these 2-packs? Maybe these are 2-packs. They have them set up like they're 2-packs. That would be cool. Got Launchpad in one of the kids, Scrooge in one of the kids, and then Gizmo Duck. Yeah, they're 2-packs. Scrooge with Dewey, Gizmo Duck with Huey. Pretty cool. The Scrooge, I think, no matter what, would be really cool. That's really cool. So McDonald's, DuckTales, NECA having some really cool reveals. The thing I guess they're okay. Godzilla Power Rangers. Not the biggest Power Rangers fan, not the most knowledgeable. But, man, all of the crossover stuff, most of it I'm just not into. Like the Turtles with Grayscale stuff, I wasn't into that stuff like hardly at all. Except they did like a merman that was freaking awesome. Like this translucent merman. He had like a removable, like translucent tail, like such a badass design, like so out there and cool. But it didn't really have anything to do with Turtles. So that it didn't have to be in a Turtles of Grayscale line of Grayscale. Turtles of Grayskull line. They could have just put it in like Origins and it would have been like this crazy weird merman. So that was awesome, but it had nothing to do with Turtles. What's up, Pat? Patrick's in the house. Says Camilla is the chicken's name. Oh, Gonzo's chicken, his bizarre love interest. And then High has got some more RoboCop stuff coming out. And Blockies. I don't understand the whole the Blockies like this has got a cool sheen to it. The Blockies, all like the Marvel characters and stuff. I guess they're basically like Build-A-Figures too. Or straight up model kits. So let's see here. So this was the thing that I was really hoping to see the most, and which I haven't seen, was Super 7 had a bunch of crazy announcements, including the one that's the most interesting to me. They're doing Visionaries figures, which I'm very excited about. Visionaries was like one of the last like cartoons, toy lines, whatever, that I was hoping to see an update of. Like a few years ago, it was like the update. It would have been Silverhawks, Dungeons and Dragons, and Visionaries. And Super 7 did Silverhawks, And then they're doing Dungeons and Dragons. I know we're sort of like trying to figure out where that's going, if that line's going to continue. I hope it continues. And now they're doing Visionaries. So then the question was, when Super 7 announced they were going to do Visionaries, does that mean they're going to do like Ultimates Visionaries, like Silverhawks? Are they going to do Reaction Plus, all three? So Entertainment Earth put up some listings, including a Visionaries 3 3/4 inch Reaction Plus Leoric. So we're going to get Visionaries in scale with a real American hero G.I. Joe figures, which is a really funny thing, because one of the theories behind why people thought that Visionaries didn't take off in the 80s as much was they were like a little bit bigger, like a 3/4 inch bigger or inch bigger than G.I. Joes, even though they had the same articulation, and Hasbro made both. And some people looking back were like, well, you already made G.I. Joes, and they were like wildly successful, and were still wildly successful at the time you made Visionaries. So why not make Visionaries the same exact size as G.I. Joe, which they did with like Bionic 6. I think Hasbro made Bionic 6, right? Maybe, I don't know if they did or not, but Bionic 6 were basically O-ring style figures, same size. So certainly Hasbro probably could have. Maybe the holograms would have been tougher to do if they were smaller, but I don't know that for sure. I guess Battle Beasts were stickers, not really holograms, but that's the number one thing for me for the Visionaries, is that whatever scale they made them in, I think they really need to have those holograms. They need to have the holograms. Otherwise, it's just not worth doing. But I'm super excited about this. Definitely going in. Since you can pre-order the figure, they've got to have something, some type of pictures or something. I'm hoping that today, Sunday, we'll get some pictures of the Visionaries. That would be really cool. Let's see if there's anything else that they are showing here. Do I have to pop over the next window? Yeah, I got to pop over the next window. That's right. Here we go, right? Ow! Told you my camera's giving me all kinds of problems. There we go. All right, so you got the deluxe versions. Again, those are the Ultimates Thundercats figures. Same figures, but less accessories, less stuff, downgraded stuff. $35. Like I said, pretty good if you want to fill out like your Thundercats collection, but don't need every accessory they came with. $35. You can get the figure. Throw them on your cat's lair. You can get the O-ring TMNT figures, $25. They've already got listings again for Leoric, who is like the head good guy, and then Darkstorm, who is the head bad guy for Visionaries. They've also got some O-ring Universal Monsters coming out. O-ring Back to the Future. Pretty sure we saw those already. And then they're saying Universal Monsters, the Mummy, 3 3/4 inch. Now, does that mean like movie style figures? That I would be definitely interested in. Yeah, they got a bunch of stuff up there. Yeah, there's some of the O-ring Back to the Future in stock too. All right. So that's cool. Does Pre-Eternity have anything else here? The Entertainment Earth listings, the NECA Friday the 13th stuff, Sonic and Batman crossover. Eat shit, buddy. TVC figures. If you need another Stormtrooper, you can get them. And then I think that was it for the Toy Fair stuff. Turtles and G.I. Joe crossovers. Goodness gracious. Transformers and Evangelion crossovers. It's become a running joke that instead of like making new stuff, they just like take the old stuff from the 80s and make it again. Now it's not just that. Now it's let's take stuff from the 80s and mix them together. All right, so Desert Scorpion down to $27 on Target. Wonder how much he was to begin with. Yeah, so here's some of the Super 7 announcements. So Super 7 is doing Shrek action figures. There's that Evangelion Optimus. Very interesting idea. This one I thought was interesting. Super 7 Law and Order. Not specifically SVU, but they got to do Olivia, right? And Stabler. Just an interesting... Wait, what's this? Studio Series Shockwave. That looks pretty good. An Astro Train. Mondo Chitara is up if you missed out on her. Here's the Dawn Moreno Snake Eyes. Don't know anything about this character, but from what other people have said, apparently she's an important character in the current comic runs. So there you go. Rhea Ripley Snake Eyes. Don't know what the story is there. Origins is still going on as far as we know. Multibot shipping currently. Oh, we got some good Secret Wars stuff. The Tiger Sharks. Super 7's got the Ultimates Tiger Sharks coming out. Oh, here's some more pictures of that 8-inch Batman. I guess he's got a suit on too. Like a vinyl suit, at least the pants, I guess. And then the top torso is just plastic, it looks like. Looks pretty good. Those pants are kind of weird, actually. I didn't notice that they were like pants. Looks good just like that. Kind of looks better than the Mezco, to be honest with you. That's probably something else we should check in on before we bounce. Oh, it's already been almost an hour and a half, just as I'm scrolling through the internet. Mezco toys. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? A lot of times I'll just grab screenshots. DuckTales I wanted to talk about. Muppets. McDonald's. There's some unlicensed World of Warcraft stuff coming out. Okay, let's throw up Mezco. Where you at? So here's Mezco. So Mezco has Mezco Toys Fairs going on right now. The only thing that I believe that's new that they've shown so far that I'm aware of is from the Gangsters Inc. Rumble Society subline. We've got Franklin Sparky Foreman. Oh, wait, no, this is old, right? Yeah, I think this guy's old. Or maybe this is the black and white version. Maybe that's what it is. Does anybody know? But I do know this was announced. I guess went up for pre-order and is already on wait list. So they're doing another Rumbler, a tan version, which of course they were going to do. The big draw to this one, I think, is while the original Rumbler Mezco vehicle came with, I think, the Death Adder, this one comes with a Gomez. There's the Gomez. So like a Hazard Squad Gomez. His little turtleneck is like a light green this time, as opposed to blue or black, I think was the other one, right? But I believe the Rumbler itself is exactly the same thing in a different, painted up a different way. Opening doors, working winch, removable window armor, secret weapon storage, powered working winch. That's cool. Lights, I believe. Yep. Real working exterior and interior lights. That's really cool. And comes with a Hazard Squad Gomez figure. Would be cool if it had rubber tires. I think the tires are plastic. And like, it would be cool to make it remote control, would it not? Changeable top guns with a firing rocket. That's cool. There's the loadout. Anybody grab the Rumbler previously? Anybody getting this Rumbler? I'm not. I'm not. But 325, it's out there. Anything else? Man, I hope this isn't being shared. Maybe Toy Arc? Let's have a run through Toy Arc and then I'll cut it off here. Yeah, there we go. Thanks. Yeah. As I was doing that, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I kind of remember this guy. I'm not collecting those gangster guys. So I wasn't sure, but so I guess the black and white is the Toys Fairs announcement version variation. Toy Arc, what you got? Helmets that we saw before. Legends, loyal subjects. This is cool. So this was pretty cool. I do want to talk about this. So Loyal Subjects, as I think you all know, has been doing reissues of the Mask line, right? So kind of faithful, reissues of the Mask line, the vehicles and the figures and stuff. Not a ton of new updates, to be honest with you. There's some. I just got the Condor. Here's the box. Here's the box anyway. Which was cool, and it was cool to buy a Mask figure and open it up and everything. The reissue was not enough of an update, I think, for me to go back and get more. Like, I would like to have seen like some upgrades, like give me rubber tires on the motorcycle, give me propellers that kind of worked a little bit better. So not something I was kind of going to go back into, but I think this is cool. So they're doing a what's the proper name? Here, I've got it here. Where'd it go? Maybe it's over here. Here we go. They're doing a SDC. Oh, it's an SDC exclusive. Yay! SDCC exclusive hologram Thunderhawk. So that's what this is, hologram version, and it glows in the dark. I assume that's something from the cartoon. Maybe like it. I don't know. I don't know what it does, but it glows in the dark. It's got that like hologram effect, kind of like when Unicron was like reformatting Megatron into Galvatron type of thing, except the blue instead of purple, and glow in the dark. That's pretty sweet, actually. And then a glow in the dark matte tracker, which is pretty cool. That I'm at least interested in. Okay, let's doing something that didn't come out in the 80s. That is cool. There's a condor in the background. Again, I'm assuming maybe that's a freeze frame, something that's maybe it's in the cartoon. Maybe it's maybe it's even from the intro, maybe. But that I think is pretty cool. Yes, some of the updates were just like they had like these effects pieces that kind of like fit into like the helmets, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, like, but I don't know. To me, I would like to see more of an update than that. Personally, I'd like to see more of an update than that. Okay. So that's mask. Here we go. Let's go back to the Facebook page. Loyal subjects, Star Wars. Stop me if there's anything you want me to take a closer look at. Denver, Batman. There's the nacelle stuff again. Some of the McFarlane figures, McFarlane like starting lineup type figures. No tattoos though, right? Spawn. Oh, there was something else that I don't know if it was announced, but I found out about it yesterday. Apparently, McFarlane Superpowers is continuing. I thought it was over, but there was an announcement. I think it was like McFarlane and maybe Entertainment Earth together offering superpowers. So maybe it's going to be an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Yeah, this looks like all the same stuff we've already seen. So well, hopefully we can see some visionaries today, man. That's what I really want to see. Gem. Let's see, what is it? And I guess Loyal Subjects is doing Gem as well, doing the full 12-inch versions. That's cool. Gem is truly, truly outrageous. All right, guys. Anything else? I think that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me while I kind of checked out to see if there's any other Toy Fair reveals that really caught my fancy. I would say the McDonald's, the DuckTales, and then what am I missing? McDonald's, the DuckTales. Excuse me. McDonald's, DuckTales, and then the O-ring turtles were like kind of like the coolest. Stuff that I'm paying attention to that I might actually get something from the reveals. McDonald's, maybe. The McDonald's figures might be cool. The Scrooge McDuck, probably. Probably not the O-ring turtles. They're really cool, but I don't think I need them. And I think that's it. Oh, I did want to mention these guys. I have been having fun with some of this Glio stuff, and I did get my glow-in-the-dark bug guy. He came in. And then this is from God Beast, these guys. My clear guys came in too. This is just the one I've opened up. And he's really cool. I didn't realize how big they'd be. Like, he's pretty big. So I'm glad I got this guy. This guy's fun. Love it. So that is pretty cool. That's it. I guess I'll log off for now. But, I'll see you guys on the interwebs. Hopefully we get some more reveals today on the last day of Toy Fair. Happy Valentine's Day again to everybody. And yeah, a bunch of stuff I think on later today. Mike Zolotro, the showrunner from ZoloCon, which is coming up in 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, we got ZoloCon coming up. He's going to be on with Art G at 5 o'clock. Blake Recon Rage is going to be on, I believe, with Brick something. I think that's 6 or 7 o'clock. And then Curtis and Jesse on Shooting the Shelf tonight at 8 o'clock are going to be talking Star Wars with a few guests. Trevor's going to be on, I think, with them, so that should be interesting. I'll hop in the chat and just type Andor over and over and over just to see what happens. So that's it. That's all I got. Take care, everybody. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you later.
So I'll see you guys in November.